Hello, my name is David Goldstein, and this is the third of 4 videos in HVAC for dental offices, mitigating the spread of aerosols. Again, the 4 key concepts I'm covering in these videos are air changes, air filtration, air distribution, and room pressurization. This third video is about air distribution. There are 2 main concepts to consider when evaluating the air distribution strategy in your patient rooms. One is to avoid stagnant zones, and 2 is to make sure you're moving the aerosols away from the occupants. I'll illustrate these concepts with some simple sketches. This is an example of air distribution that avoids any stagnant zones. What I mean by that is that the airflow is fully distributed throughout the entire volume of the room. If we make one simple change by moving the supply diffuser from the ceiling to the side wall, we can see that we create a large stagnant zone in the lower portion of the room, which in this case is the part of the room that needs airflow the most. We may have the flow rate we need to achieve the required air changes, but we're not actually changing the air in the occupied space where it's needed most. Having a stagnant zone like this means that aerosols can linger and accumulate to dangerous levels. In this example, we see that moving the return grill to the center of the room creates a stagnant zone on the far end of the room, opposite the side with the supply diffuser. There are many different ways the diffusers can be arranged within a room, and the key here is to make sure that the air is evenly distributed throughout the room to eliminate any stagnant areas. Next, we need to look at the direction that the airflow will pick up and move the aerosols from their source. In this example, we do a good job of eliminating stagnant zones, but the problem is that the air is picking up the aerosols from the patient and moving them directly to the dentist. Flipping this arrangement around is obviously a better scenario because we're now moving aerosols away from the dentist and towards the return air inlet. Achieving this can be done by rearranging your ductwork and diffusers or by modifying the layout of the room. In this example, we see that moving the return air grill directly above the patient and supplying the air from both sides provides an even better airflow pattern because it allows caregivers to be on both sides of the patient while avoiding the direct flow of aerosols. The one flaw with this approach, as with the previous one, is that while it protects the dentist from aerosols from the patient, it doesn't protect the patient from aerosols from the dentist. This may not be a concern if the dentist is wearing appropriate PPE. This last example is the most ideal scenario, and it's the way operating rooms are typically designed. Air is supplied from overhead such that all occupants are getting direct supply of clean air. The return air inlets are located close to the floor such that aerosols from any of the occupants is pulled down to the floor level and away from the breathing zone. This may not be practical for most dental offices, but this is what you would do if you wanted to maintain the cleanest air environment possible. And that's the end of this video on air distribution. Thanks for watching.